Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Smets from rachelsmets.com, and for my book Awaken Your Confidence, there are 15 people and 15 chapters, each of them telling and sharing their journey to success. The last chapter in part 1 of the book is about my own experience and my own life. So let me take you on my journey and tell you all about how I gained and awakened my confidence and how I learned it and what skills I used. Let's do this. Alright, so who was this little Rachel? Let me take you back in time as a child. First of all, I was born and raised in Belgium in a town called Overijse. That's where I grew up. I went to school, went to high school. I was really good in school, but I was a very shy girl. I didn't speak much at all. My parents had to pretty much force me to speak up when somebody asked me something. In school, I was really doing well. I had really good grades, very ambitious, always wanted to be the best at home and outside of home. So I was kind of trying to be this perfect daughter, I guess you can say. And I did well at it. I tried to help everybody out, but I was very shy, really silent, listening to everyone, but very, very shy and silent. That's how I was. That's who I was. And when I finished my high school, my mom, she's a hairdresser. She was a hairdresser. She still is. And she really dreamed of her daughter being a hairdresser and following her footsteps. But it was not really much of my interest. I kind of was more interested in the skin and working with my hands and doing massages and things like that. So I started studying beautician, and I did a lot of extra degrees, different massage techniques, lymph draining massage, medical, pedicure, more of the medical side. So I started my own business as a beautician, and at the same time I was married to, at the time, my husband, and we owned a bar. So I was actually working day and nights. I woke up very early in the morning, I cleaned the bar, then I went to my own beauty salon, did all the customers there. Then at night I went back to help my husband. So yeah, it was a few years of very, very hard work, but very rewarding as well. And I learned a lot, so I have no regrets at all whatsoever. Alright, so how did I then come up with the dream and the idea of wanting to be an expat and leaving the country? Okay, so here it goes. I was in my beauty salon, and most of my clients were expats, living and working abroad. Families, husband, wives, with children, without children. So I kept day after day hearing these stories, oh, I'm coming from Egypt, I'm coming from the US, I'm coming from Australia. I had all these different kinds of cultures and in my shop. So I really became attracted to the idea of living and working abroad. I just felt like I want to experience that too. Of course, it doesn't go just overnight, but it kind of played in my head for a while. And I wanted to experience that, the new cultures, another country, all of that. So I kind of started researching. I kind of started looking out for, what could I be doing? I mean, it was like 2000, around 2000 at the time that I started playing in my head with that idea. And so I started looking around, looking for jobs, all of that, kind of doing my research, after working hours and stuff like that in between. So finally, I kind of played with the idea, but also applied for jobs and looked out for jobs abroad. And I had job opportunities, and I was asked to go for job interviews in London, in Curacao, in where else? In Mallorca, in Monaco, in France. So I had a few opportunities, and I traveled to each of these to do the interview and to kind of have a sense of how is this country, how would it feel to work here. And so yeah, it was quite an experience and quite a journey, let me tell you that. I just didn't do it overnight. But then I decided to choose Mallorca, which is a Spanish island. And so that was my choice because it wasn't too far away, it wasn't across an ocean, and it just felt good, I guess. So that was step number 1. Then I talked to my husband about it. He was pretty okay with that. He understood my dream and my goal, and he really supported me very well. Then came the biggest challenge of telling my parents, which, I mean, they really love me and they're very, very caring, but they just did not understand. I mean, why would I leave a successful business and a bar to just move abroad and work in a job and then leave my financial security and leave my family? It felt to them like I was abandoning them. It never occurred to me. And now, years later, I do understand they were very frightened. I mean, here I was, moving abroad, moving away. What was going to happen? How many risks were there? So they were very concerned and yeah, fearful, I guess. But I didn't understand that at the time. So I just felt like, why are they so upset? Why are they mad at me? What did I do wrong? I'm the perfect daughter. Why? Now I understand. They were just scared. And years later, they saw that I was okay. I can be on my own and I can travel and I can go to all these countries and I'm okay. I'm still okay. So, I mean, our relationship, I guess, got a bit stronger, but it took a while. It definitely took a while before, they understood all of that. So that's how the dream developed and that's how I made my decision. Alright, so here we are, 2003. My decision was made. I was gonna move to Mallorca, the Spanish island, and start a job there. So remember well, I did do a lot of research and job applications and job interviews, and it took really a year long of very good thorough research planning. I didn't just search for a job and moved. It was always very carefully planned. And after that, I stayed, I worked and stayed in Mallorca for 2 years. Then I did my bachelor's degree because I still didn't go to university. I had my beautician therapy and I worked as a beautician. And I kind of felt always like I want to do some more studies and I want to know what it's like in the corporate world as well. So I did my bachelor's degree in psychology. Then I moved to Scotland because I wanted to study in English, and I did my master's degree in Scotland in the University of St Andrews. And then from there I moved down south to Cardiff in the UK, which was where I started my first job again. Then after that, I also moved to France. I worked and lived in Germany and also in Netherlands, where I am currently living right now, which is in the Netherlands. What I'm trying to say is that I moved into different countries, and every time I didn't want to take high risks. I always made sure to plan it well, to search for a job, to have this financial security. Once I had a job, I could find a place to live and then find my way around, meet locals and do all of that and register and everything. So it was always very well planned. And I have to say, the very first time I moved abroad, it was a big stress. I have no idea what was going to happen. And after several times, and okay, I have to search for a car, I have to register in the town hall, I have to do this admin work. Yes, it's still stressful, but if you plan it carefully, that's kind of what I try to mention to a lot of people moving abroad, is that if you do some careful planning, there's some priorities you can just tick off the box, and then the stress is much less. So that's what I did all of these years, actually, and what I like to talk about a lot. Alright, so what are all the things that I learned all these years living and working abroad? My first adventure was, of course, Spain. So I started to learn some Spanish before I left. I learned a lot of languages on my own. I'm pretty disciplined in that. And I speak 6 languages now and fluently, and I love teaching languages as well. But it's all about conversations, though. I'm not much of I don't think the grammar, unless you work in it thoroughly, but I really focus on conversations. For me, that's what I did. I had a basic of vocabulary for each country I lived in, for each language I learned. And then I just went out there and I talked to a lot of locals. And yes, it's scary. I can't say it's not scary. I had to overcome a lot of fear in lots of different ways. Talking to new people. I was alone every time in each country. I knew nobody. So was there fear? Yes, of course. Also to learn a language and to speak a language. You make so many mistakes, but it's the way to learn it. That's kind of how step by step I awakened my confidence, and I became so much more confident. And I didn't know it at the time, but it's by taking all these small steps day after day. Okay, so for an example, languages. I had to go out there and talk to local people, but I just kind of forced myself out of my comfort zone, trying to speak with all the grammatical errors that you can imagine. But I learned every time, and people appreciate that you want to learn and that you're trying. So on top of that, while trying and while seeking out contacts and locals, I increased my network. I built relationships. I made friends. Also that, remember me, the little shy girl, shy Rachel, and here I am alone in a new country and talking to people. But it's also because I had to. I was alone. So if I needed something, I needed to be able to talk to people, anybody really. So I learned a lot from that, and I learned also how important networking is. You need something done in your house, or the water is leaking, or I don't know what, or you need some paperwork done and you don't know where to go or which commune hall, anything really. Networking really, really helped me, and networking can be networking to anybody. I talk to anybody. It can be a director of a company, or the cleaning lady in the hotel, or anybody. For me, everyone is the same, and that's something I also learned moving abroad. I give everybody a chance. I don't judge. Everybody is for me at the same level. I just talk to everybody. Everybody's a human being, just like you and me. So what I'm trying to say here is that the way I kind of grew my confidence is really by taking all of these actions, and every time out of my comfort zone, but every time I could achieve some more. The first time I had to talk to some local people that I didn't know and ask something, it was kind of scary. But then you do it and you think, hey, it's not that bad at all. And then you do it again and again and again. It's the same with languages. You make mistakes, but then I learned to improve my sentences. And then, I could speak more fluently every time. So everything, building friends and relationships, everything. It just becomes easier every time. That's what I'm trying to say. And that step by step, going out of your comfort zone is the way to do it. All right, so some people say, oh, Rachel, you're so lucky. You went in all of these countries and you experienced all of that. Oh, you're so lucky. I'm very grateful for what I have achieved, and I'm very grateful for what I have experienced, and I've learned a ton of things, and I feel very rich in a sense of everything I learned, the countries, the cultures, everything, the people, the relationships. But was it easy? Am I lucky? No. I don't think so. I don't agree with that. It's not like somebody just brought me all of that. I had to work very, very hard. I had to search for jobs. I had to talk to people. I had to apply for jobs. I had to do interviews. I had to move myself to another country, do all the admin work, registration, paperwork, looking for TV and gas and electricity and water companies. I had no idea of looking for telephone companies, internet companies. Every single country is different. Every single country has their own rules and regulations and laws. And I was alone. I had to be in a job full time and seek everything out and be there when the moving company comes and arrange everything, unpack all the boxes with my own hands. Am I lucky? I don't know. It's a choice I made, and I learned a lot along the way. And was it easy? No way. No way. This was not easy. I feel very fortunate, and I have achieved a lot, and I still want to learn a lot. But was it easy? No, it certainly wasn't. And that's kind of, I went through a divorce because I divorced my husband when we were in Spain because he followed me, and then we decided to separate because I wanted to stay. we're still very good friends, but that's how it went. I suffered burnout. I made a lot of friends all over the world, but some of them lasted and some of them didn't, because sometimes out of sight is out of the heart, right? So was it easy? Again, no. But I kept going and I kept motivating, and I knew I was learning a lot, and I still am. I'm still living abroad, away from my own home country. So it's definitely well worth it. And that's what I'm trying to give to people, that it's life is not always easy, but if you want to achieve something, then yeah, there's these, positives and negatives, and that's okay. It's really the way it is. So yeah, and with everything that let's say the less or the more negative things that happened to me, like the burnout and all of those things, it also made me stronger inside, and I learned to observe myself better, and I learned to, I guess, love myself better. I never really understood the fact of, you have to love yourself. Really, to me, it means like I need to take care of myself and listen to myself. And sometimes when I was running too hard and being too ambitious, that's how I also had a burnout. And so yeah, I really learned to listen more to my intuition. I was always, I said I was a shy girl, and I wanted to be the perfect daughter, but actually all my life I was a people pleaser, a real people pleaser. Like I'd never thought about myself. What did I want? What is intuition? I had no idea. I never listened to it. I never even thought about it, because I just made sure that everybody was happy with me and that I could help anybody else, really. So that's what I was doing, pleasing people all the time. And with the sadder moments and stuff are when I really learned, like, hey, what is it that Rachel really wants? What is this intuition? What is this little voice inside of me? So that's really how I learned, like, hey, I'm feeling stressed now, and I'm feeling happy now, and I'm feeling very good and very energetic with this person, but not with that person. And so those little things, and reading about spirituality and the law of attraction, and all of these pieces together, all of these self-help books that I've read, is what I want to bring you now as well in this book, of course, and help others. But it really taught me how to take care of myself, listen to myself, and now surround me with the people that I want and that give me energy, and do the things that give me energy and not drain my energy. So it's been a process, and it's been a journey, and that's why I'm sharing all of this with you. And I keep learning, and I keep growing. I really do. But yeah, I learned a lot. Happiness, confidence, self-esteem. The last little part I want to bring to you is that I learned it all the way through my journey, through everything that I experienced. I really grew and awakened my confidence and my self-esteem. Was it always easy? No, and it definitely is not. And after doing all these interviews for my book, it's what every other successful person says. It was not easy. Nobody's gonna bring it to you on a silver platter. But there's steps you can take. There's action steps you can take. It's a skill. Confidence is a skill that you can learn. And so happiness is something I learned as well. Happiness is not just falling out of the sky. Happiness is something that I have in control. And that's something I learned as well. It's like, I'm in control of my life. I'm responsible for my life. If I don't like this job, why do you think I moved to different countries? Why do you think I changed jobs often? Because whenever I'm not happy anymore, then I change. I'm in control. Why would I do a job the rest of my life that I feel so unhappy with? No way. Why would you? Why would you stay in a relationship that you are unhappy with? No, if I'm unhappy, then I seek a way out. Is it easy? Of course it's not. Let's be real here, but I am responsible of my life. And and I realized that I feel very happy when I'm interacting with people. I feel like I get when I get a smile from someone that I helped, I that motivates me, that gives me energy, and that's what I want to keep doing. I learned that I love teaching languages and conversations and improve someone's skills to talk another new language. Or I love teaching about cultural experiences because of my experiences. I love speaking events. I love doing interviews with people as long as I'm interacting with people. And of course, I love motivating people, and especially if you're stuck or not confident, I will boost it. There's so many ways and little actions that you can take, and that's why I wrote this book and spent so much time and effort on it, and also involved all these successful people showing you what their experience was and how they learned it. And in part 2 of the book, you will find 11 confidence hacks, which are just tools for you to use with my own story inside of it, but really practical things. Take some steps. Don't compare yourself to others. It's your life, just like it was my life, and it is still my life, and I'm still making choices, and I'm still learning. And I still struggle sometimes, and I'm still, away from my family in a foreign country. But I learn so much, and it does increase my confidence all the time. And it's a way of seeking inside of you. What's that inner voice telling you? What is it that you want to do? And just build on that with everything you've got, and with the successful people, and I mean, not successful, but supportive people around you are so important. That is also what gives me energy. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this book, Awaken My Confidence, and I hope I can share more with you. And if you have any questions, let me know. But this was my journey, and here I am. Thanks a lot for listening.